You're nasty bastard.
You're alive now.
Aye.
Yeah. Good evening all. If you could please all share. Obviously I can't share when I'm on the live, folks. So, yeah, this Kimberly Isherwood in front of me from Chair from PCP Wales. Just had an interview with ITV down on the seafront. It was a bit windy down there, wasn't it, Kim?
Very windy.
Very windy. So, how do you really think the interview went with them?
Sorry, I have to yawn.
Here she goes, opening her mouth yet again.
Well, the same as every other interview. You answer the questions in full. They are never going to air what you say anyway. I've given 6-minute interviews in the past and only been on for 30 seconds. So I feel that I answered all the questions in full. I feel I give detailed answers as well. None of my answers were generalised. He did accuse me of being spreading lies and conspiracies and things like that. So my response to that was, well, read the evidence. Read the evidence. I'm not expecting anyone to believe me. I don't want anyone to believe me any more than I want to be the government. They've got to play judge and jury. And the only way they can do that is by going to the government and asking them for evidence to support what they're saying. Coming to us, taking our evidence that we say is supporting what we're saying. And then it's their place then to judge, you know, in the best interest of their family. So, you know, even if I was lying, at the end of the day, there's only one way to determine who's lying and who's not lying, and that's by going to investigate properly. So I've got absolutely nothing to fear. I think I've made that perfectly clear to them. I don't care what they do with the footage. They did say that, they'll give me a fair crack of the whip. I don't care. I really don't care. They can edit and discredit. They can do what they want. They can do their words. I don't care. Sticks and stones to break my bones. Names ain't going to hurt me. They can try and make me look a fool all they want. I tell you, the only way I would look a fool is if I was sat here doing absolutely nothing to defend my children. That's the only time I will look a fool. So anything they've got up their sleeve or anything they try to launch on me, it's going to be water off a duck's back.
Yeah, the problem is they can try to discredit you with a film or footage, but we've got the footage because actually, folks, I actually filmed from start to finish. So I'm sure Kim will be putting it out in bits and bobs, over the next few weeks, folks. Before it's not going to be aired straight away, is it? No.
So they said it's going to be a couple of weeks. They got to go to Jeremy Miles. They got to go to different people. So basically, they're going to build up a program just to make me look a wally, really. But like I said, I don't care. I really don't care. I have offered them. I said I'm prepared to stand up against all 60 members of the Senedd, the Children's Commissioner, NSPCC and Women's Aid. I am prepared to face all those people on my own for a live debate with no notes, nothing prepared. I'll just go in there off the cuff. But these people, you know, they just giving us lip service, basically. I don't trust any of them. I don't believe any of them. And as far as I'm concerned, they've got a long way to go to prove to me that this is safe. That's another thing he said as well. He did say, some people would say what you're doing is dangerous. So what I said was, well, what I would say then is, show me. You show me exactly what you think I'm doing is dangerous. And then I will sit down with you and I will show you my concerns. And only then will we come to the truth. So if we can't sit down and have these discussions, then as far as I'm concerned, that's negligence. That's negligence on behalf of the children. And that is what's dangerous.
Part of the interview, I loved one of your responses when he turned around and he said, what do you mean by us? Could you elaborate what your answer was? Because I thought it was really good.
Yeah, so he was, when I was saying we, he said, what do you mean by we? Who is we? And I did say the population. He said, well, it's not the population though, is it? I said, no, I'm actually speaking on behalf of 5,000 people who signed our petition and the 87% of the population who rejected this in overwhelming numbers. And I also speak on behalf of the parents who are yet to find out. Sorry guys, my dog has just run away with one of my tree balls. Toby, what are you doing? 2 seconds. Naughty boy. Naughty boy.
Toby. Yeah, and the diversities of the campaign as well. I think that was mentioned. I don't think he realised how much of diversity that your campaign actually has got.
No, it was quite funny really, because as we were stood there was a straight, a bisexual and a gay. So, you know, three of us were stood there.
Work that out for yourself, folks.
And, yeah, so, you know, that's quite a shock as well. This is what I mean, they don't understand, and this is what I said to them. This is the reason why we haven't got the media coverage. And he went, I guess, but you're going to be on the TV. Well, after 2.5 years. We haven't had the media coverage is because they don't know if they're going to be pointing a camera at a Christian or a lesbian. And that is a beauty with our campaign. You know, we've united all these minority groups as well. We've created something beautiful here. We're not going anywhere, you know, we're not going nowhere. We are going to fight to make this country the safest place in the world for raising and educating your children. And that is not a crime. Believe it or not, that is actually not a crime. What these people are doing is a crime. They've gone against us. It wasn't in any manifesto. We had no idea we'd be getting new curriculum. We had no idea we'd be getting sex education. He was asking what it is about RSE I don't like. And I said, well, it's not RSE, it's comprehensive sexuality education. He said, no, it's not, it's RSE. I said, in Wales it's called RSE. I said, but if you actually do a bit of research, you'll understand what it is. So he then recited a part from the judgment, which was quoting the RSE code. And he said, there's nothing in this code to show what you're stating and what you're claiming. Well, actually, that code has been derived from UNESCO. So that code wasn't just published 2 years after we put pressure on them. That code is derived and co-constructed by UNESCO. So that is part of something. It hasn't just come out of thin air. Oh, we'll take these guidelines down here. If you would follow this process like we have followed this process, and if everybody wants to go onto our website, www.publicchildprotectionwales.org, sex education page, scroll down to the bottom, you see government correspondence. You know, we've done a thorough investigation. The former Minister of Education, Kirsty Williams, she's denied this but referenced it. We've taken it to the Petitions Committee. We've gone through the consultation. We've gone on the right channels. We've got all this evidence there. So because the government is saying it's RSE, the documents are telling us otherwise. So, you know, it's just like a Snickers and a marathon, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? A Snickers will always remain a marathon. They've just changed the label. There's no difference, guys, you know. It's like with a Starburst and Opal fruits. You know, they were Opal fruits and they Starburst. No different, they've just changed the label. Simple as that. And another thing I mentioned as well, so he kept banging on about this code. And like I said, that code is part of a bigger thing. So you've got the legislation, you've got the code, and you've got the lesson content. So where's the lesson content? Where is it? The deadline for this was in September. That's the deadline, not the start line. So that means it should have been rolled out in all primary schools by then, because the deadline was September. Where's this lesson content? So he also spoke as well about the leaflets. He said, you put out the leaflets outside the centre? I said, yes. And he said, well, none of that's in the lessons during Wales. He said, it can't go on the news. I said, because in the classroom more. But it's not here in Wales. I said, it's in Scotland. Yeah, that's Scotland. He said, it was right for Scottish kids, but not Welsh kids, is it? Is that what they're saying? There's plenty of links between Wales and Scotland. Kirsty Williams has referenced the curriculum of excellence in her speeches, and what she said was it hasn't been delivered right. Now, we do know Professor Donaldson as well. He made the recommendations for both curriculums for Wales and for Scotland. But also as well, to spin that on his head, he didn't even mention RSE. So why he's referencing the judgment, I simply don't know, because his report wasn't even based on RSE. So, but that's a road that we're going to go down now, guys. That's the next 7 days ahead.
Well, what really bothers me is that the Welsh Government hasn't provided any content and it's nowhere to be seen. And if it's nowhere to be seen, how can teachers teach it in Wales if they've not been trained up on the content? Because they need to be trained up on the content. So why?
Well, this is it. If they're not properly trained up on things, and you know, so what you're dealing with there then is a teacher who cannot deliver this topic in a critical way. So when you're unable to teach something critically, and if you go to the Oxford Dictionary now, you will see that is the definition of indoctrination, is being unable to teach something either being unable to or refusing to teach something in a critical way. So if you can't see all sides of that coin, you are then indoctrinating people. You know, that's a fact, that's the definition. I haven't made this up, it is the true meaning, you know, just go and check it out. I am not the person delivering this stuff, you guys are, so you guys need to check the definition of these things.
Yeah, it was like you had said in an interview, like at the end of the day, a teacher in, say, Cardiff, it could have a completely different aspect on their personal life to another teacher, say, in Swansea, and it could actually be teaching it totally different.
Well, that's what I mentioned in my interview as well. He said that it's, you know, that it's down to the teachers to define this based on the code. I said it's open to interpretation then. And what we've got in Wales is 1,500 schools. How many members of staff have we got in those schools? How many different interpretations is that? Now, when something's open to interpretation and you're discussing safeguarding, you're not safeguarding, okay? You're not safeguarding. Safeguarding's black and white, guys. Do you know what I mean? You're either keeping your kids safe or you're not. You shouldn't be debating it. If you're debating it, you scrap it. Nothing should ever be open to interpretation, and that is a massive issue.
All right, just finally, what is the name of the show that he's actually reporting on?
So Wales at 6 and Sharp End.
So it could be on tonight or tomorrow night.
No, it's going to be in a couple of weeks because he needs to go and speak to Jeremy Miles. And a few other people. So yeah, so what they're doing is they're building up a programme, guys, again.
Arch enemy.
Well, the thing is, we've been a little bit too sharp for the BBC, so I think ITV are going to have a pop now. But like I told them, I don't care what they do. I don't care what they do. When we were down there, it was windy, it was raining, and they were saying things like, oh, I get paid for this. I said, well, I'm only here for the children. I said, so this is why, you know, it makes a difference to me, this weather. You get paid for it, I don't. You know, but I'm not going to stop because that's why I wouldn't go out in this weather for anyone. I wouldn't go out in this weather for myself. You know, and that's the difference. That is the difference here. And that is why we can never stop.
Yeah, exactly. Thanks for the interview. Please all share, please. And thanks for watching and sharing. And thanks to the admin, you've been awesome as ever. And thanks, Kim, for the interview.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you very much. Bye.